Hello, ladies and gentlemen, champions of the realm. Are you ready for the semifinals here in the North American side of the summer circuit? We sure are. Me and my co-commentator Vox Tempest are ready to take you through this semifinal match between Eager and Ronin. On your left-hand side, you're going to be seeing Ronin Kintastic playing the Eevee Shindu on the Cassie. Madman will be picking up Grok this game. Graham on the Androxus, and nVision choosing the Buck. Vox, walk us through what Eager are doing.
Their opponents today will be Team Eager, of course. Wi-Fi will be playing Cassie, JAKEB on Victor, Z1 Unknown on Androxus, Bitey playing Grok, and Cammy rounding things out with Bomb King, also picking up the record card as we've seen. So those bombs, when they hit Grok's dome, will be dealing 1,000 damage. So Madman's dome shield is going to be evaporated as long as Eager can barrage it effectively. The first objective spawns on mines on the left-hand side, and you can already see a bit of poke being started to thrown out by either team. Nobody going for the flank so far, just looking to poke out and get a slight advantage. And Madman already had half health. Eager decimating right now, but in goes Buck, jumping in deep, nVision looking for some damage, looking for a root, but it doesn't matter as Bitey actually takes out Madman for first blood.
Yeah, it was an aggressive play. It has worked so far in terms of nVision staying alive, but he's very, very low. But Kintastic doing some work onto the Bomb King, blinking in, trying to get the kill onto Kami. Is he going to stay alive? But no, Kami actually gets the kill, and now it is totally all on the side of Eager, taking down all members of Ronin, and they're going to have to respawn and get themselves back onto this capture point. What did you like about that play by Eager, Vox?
Well, I think that Eager capitalized on the aggression that was coming out from nVision on Buck diving in deep, and also Madman, who is already half health. So as soon as Buck dives in, you see that the shock pulse from Bitey came out, bounced around everybody. Then the chain lightning damage was just far too much to deal with. And nVision goes in deep again, looking for damage onto Bitey. But look at that, he's already taken down. He's diving in alone without any support from his team. Z1 Unknown on the backside cleans things up with an accursed arm. Madman dropped by Z1 Unknown. That's a full wipe. 2 kills going to Z1 Unknown, 2 kills going to Cammy right there. Only one player left, and that is Kintastic, who is forced to run for their lives as Eager take a commanding lead with 0.1 and 2 points in their favor.
Pretty interesting to note, however, Vox, you look at the KDAs here, JAKEB is 0-2 on the Victor, which is, you know, for most of the team doing so well. It's kind of strange to see him not even getting a kill there on the board and just dying twice. You mentioned earlier that you weren't sure about the Victor death, and that's his third there. What are you thinking about the Victor pick? Excuse me. What do you think about this Victor?
I hold the Victor pick as a mistake. Honestly, if there's been a consistent underperformer throughout the last few weeks, the Paladins Summer Circuit, on Eager, it has been whoever's playing Victor. Now, I want to say JAKEB because they had 2 abysmal games versus Matchpoint in last week's finals. However, when Bitey picked it up in Game 3, Bitey also just got completely shut down on Victor. And it seems to me that Victor just isn't dynamic enough to exist within a competitive environment. You can see that the rest of the team, Z1 Unknown up in the air, has all of that air control, already has a cursed arm available. Once again, picking up the double kill, looking for the triple kill right there. Wi-Fi again on Cassie is hypermobile, has that fatal sky, and JAKEB now on the board with 1 kill versus Graham. And whilst they're 2 kills now with a frag grenade, whilst they're useful for shooting Androxus out of the air, they just don't bring enough. They don't have a backline disruptor. They are just a sharpshooter. And to me, there's something lacking there.
There's something lacking in his kit in general, is what you're saying?
I don't know if I can say that.
Or just for the competitive scene?
Just for competitive. Like, when you see champions picked up in competitives, they're all jack of all trades. None is, they all excel at one particular thing, but they can all do multiple things. Like Cassie, she can fight at close range and at distance. Buck can fight at close range, but is also hypermobile to close gaps or get out of danger. Bomb King, as well, has AoE control and zone. Grok has a shield, fantastic damage, but also objective contest due to his Ghost Walk and the Totemic Ward. And Victor just has damage. Victor just runs around, shoots people, and has barrage, which is easily avoided. And to me, it's just, you need something else there that Victor needs to be able to bring, unless you're going to want to see him shut down. And that's exactly what's been happening so far. But Eager able to convert that into an early payload conversion, leading 4 points to 0 right now. Tell me, Rain, how do we see Ronin come back into this?
Well, what they need to do is be a little smarter at their shield timing. Kami is waiting for Madman's shield to pop, and literally within maybe 1-2 bombs, it's done. So pretty much that shield is being not utilized, whereas on the side of Eager, Bitey is getting a full shield off. They have no one really able to deal with it. No wreckers on that side as well for Ronin. So it's a little odd to me that they're not realizing how much the Grok outplays are occurring, and just because of the timing of the shields and because of the fact that no one is really looking to build burn cards to deal with the shield on the side of Eager.
Although, with that said, Madman using the Tempest picks up a double kill right there, looking to turn this around, but on the backside, Bitey activates their own Tempest. Kintastic shut down immediately. Bitey has a double kill of their own, looking for the damage onto Madman. Should have Totemic Ward available very shortly, but Madman is poking him out, assisted by Gray, and this could be the turnaround and the comeback potential for it is going to be Ronin right here as they do clean out the objective and start to stack up some capture point. But Eager, they lead 60 points up already. You're seeing up in the air, Grok going to zone slightly, but the respawns are coming through for Eager faster than they're coming through for Ronin. This is going to be difficult to hold. How are they going to do it, Rain?
I'm going to feel I'm going to say this. It's going to be very hard. They're going to get forced off this point in a second. Really, the thing is they're just waiting, I think, for a really good chance to use the Grumpy Bomb. The shield's already down. The Grumpy Bomb is there. Now it's going to force him off the point. Madman ghost walks a little bit too late. Stays out of the radius, however. But Graham and somehow have taken down Kami. Now things could go in the way of Ronin. This is very, very good play. Like I was mentioning, you got to deal with the Bomb King. Get those, basically the ability to take the shields down so quickly and get that out of the fight. And it's worked. It is now 4-2. They get the objective, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from Ronin, Vox. They seem to have maybe made an adjustment. I think they heard me.
So it's target prioritization that you think is going to be that has turned things around for them, right? So they're gonna look to shut down Kami because Kami, once he takes down the dome shield, gives Eager a huge advantage. However, also when match point played against a Victor, we saw them focusing down the Victor because they have hustle as a sprint movement ability, but they don't have any instant gap maker or gap closer, and as a result, can be easily shut down by something like a Tempest. Do you think we're going to see that kind of focus coming out again, or is it just going to be all about taking Kami down, then dealing with the rest?
To be honest, I think Kami is somebody that, as the Bomb King, we've seen just be extremely good in these last few games, this last tournament, this weekend, and I think they need to take him out. I think it's literally should be their #1 prioritization. You see nVision jumping onto Kami right now. Two of them are going, Graham and nVision, but he stays alive with a nice Poppy Bomb, Grumpy Bomb out of his kit, but Graham is still there and takes Kami down again. This is what Ronin needs to do because the damage he's providing is too crucial. It counters Grok too much right now. And I just pay attention. I mean, you're seeing it, Vox. That if Kami's around, Grok's shield is up. He's free floating. He's having fun. When he's around, bye later. No shield, and you got to go swalk, or else you're dead.
Right, absolutely. So Kami, again, looking out to zone as well. And this is another reason why you want to take out the Bomb King, because Bomb King has ridiculous rain on his sticky bombs right now. He can throw them off in the distance and just chip people down and chip groups of players down as they come through choke points before they near the payload. And the rest of Eager is capitalizing on this. As soon as somebody gets poked down, they walk through, they're getting picked off. And Z1 Unknown with a morale boost is not afraid to use that accursed arm. Going to charge it up very, very quickly once again and just keep the respawns from Ronin staggered. And I love this. Eager not holding the ultimates for the counter ultimate or the big engagements. They're just taking them out one by one, so they're always fighting on the man advantage. And talk to me a little bit about this. So you're prioritizing taking Kami down, but is there potentially a different pick which you might have to look to take out if this keeps on happening, if these ultimates keep on coming through?
Honestly, I think that in the point fight, you really need to pressure Kami. I think at this point, though, with this kind of like mad ball as Graham goes up in the air, it's kind of just, shoot somebody and hopefully kill them. There's really no like real coordination to these fights right now. Everyone's just getting poked out so much. It's kind of, trying to survive. I think once you get to this stage, you just need to get kills. You need to get a man advantage. There is no reason to hold any ultimate. There's no reason to hold anything. You have to get yourself out of this choke point. It didn't work. But at that point, you let it go. I think, Vox, what I'm saying is for the point fights, when you really need Madman shield, you need to basically get Kami out of the fight. You can't let him take it down in 2 bombs.
Right, but then on the payload push, well, we've seen Eager put up a phenomenally strong defense right there, dropping very few of their players and just keeping Ronin on rotation. Let's see if Ronin will be able to pull off the same trick the second time in the row and actually look to equalize the score a little bit more. Now, you cannot win off purely defenses, so even though Eager have a 5-point lead right now, they're 5 points up. Ronin, if they keep on taking consistent capture points, could close the game out. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard and see the ultimate charges, and oh, good grief, Eager heavily stacked. But Graham also is the only one without a cursed arm available, the only one without the ultimate available on the side of Ronin. So looking good for both teams and a pretty even burn card advantage right now.
Yeah, I really want to see JAKEB's ultimate do some damage here. I love the Victor's ultimate. It can really drop those 1,000 bombs onto people and just from a safe distance as well. As long as he's got that visual sight, it's going to make it very dangerous for anyone on the side of Ronin to step onto that point because they've just got a lot of death potential on the side of Eager. So I'm really interested to see JAKEB kind of get into his rhythm here.
Oh, well, speaking of rhythm, up goes nVision, down goes nVision, immediately jumps into 4 players, shut down immediately, NA buck play right there, folks. Kintastic meaning that a curse down ultimate with the ice block there, but shut down as well. Does get a blink freeze off, but Eager taking advantage on this objective. It's going to be a retake once again from Ronin, but they're going to have more difficulty this time because it is a more open point. It is Igloo, it is the middle point of the map, and there are lots of different angles of attack and lots of different ways you can hold. So whilst you can break it easily if one team is sat there, now look at the spawn camp that's coming out. Look at the zone control that's coming out of Eager and talk me through that, Rain. They're looking to lock off choke points, right?
Absolutely, and Kami with the Bomb King is a great player to do it because he can zone very well from distance, doing quite a bit of damage, and of course detonate those bombs in the air, even if he's a little off in terms of landing them. But a nice Tempest comes out from Madman, getting Eager off the point, but Bitey returns the favor, takes down nVision. He goes for the double kill, takes down Graham as well, and now it's pretty much a fight to try and get all of the members dead before they get back onto the point. It looks like they're taking down Madman. Kintastic fell just a minute ago to Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi actually fell to Madman, so it looks like they both killed each other, which is very, very Shakespearean of them to do. But yeah, we're moving now, and the point is captured 7-2 in favor of Eager.
Honestly, this is that hold right there was down to Bitey's Tempest, because Bitey got just shredded by Madman's Tempest, somehow stayed alive, used their own Tempest, and just shut everybody down as Ronin had invested so much energy and so much of their resources into trying to get those kills and hadn't received any payoff. Now JAKEB dropping the ultimate doesn't find anybody with it. Damage immune by Kintastic's ice block, and that's a problem with the barrage, is that it's predictable. And there we go, Kintastic blinks in, takes out JAKEB, has Wormhole Blink available to get out of danger if possible, but here comes the damage as well. Looking for Z1 Unknown's a Curse Storm, doesn't find any kills. The payload hold going on quite strong still, but Eager slowly chipping members of Ronin down with a slight advantage. Madman shut down by Wi-Fi with a triple kill, and the payload will push through cliff tops completely unhindered.
So you know what would be interesting to see, Vox, is if Madman, like yesterday we saw on the Grox, a lot of them picking up a Wrecker. We saw Grox going for Wrecker because of the high damage output that Grox now has, and it's just so easy to confirm the hits. But we don't see it on Madman. Since none of them have a Wrecker, I feel like it might be an interesting counter for him to pick that up, maybe instead of the Cauterize, and just basically go in and burn that shield down of Bitey, so that they can at least be even in terms of their fights right now. Bitey just has a full shield.
He has a full shield, but most importantly, he's running Crackle 4, so that's a full shield that has an extra 1,000 health right now. So the damage blocking potential is heavily in favor of Eager's favor, and as a result, it's up to the burn card picks, the mid-match, I should say, changes that we can make thanks to burn cards and their modifiers, which might give Ronin an edge here. As Ronin look to mount a defense, 7 points up lead Eager right now at only 12 minutes into the game. Here comes Bitey with a Tempest. Damage onto nVision is good. That's 1 kill already. Madman in the totemic ward will be safe for the time being, but poked out from both sides is taking a lot of damage from Bitey. It's a little bit of a grok war going on. Madman has the upper hand on the high ground, but no, is shut down by Bitey right now. Too much health by that grok. Graham battling out with Z1 Unknown. Z1 Unknown deep into the base of Ronin right now, wins that trade. Actually, neither of them are going to get picked off. There we go. Bitey picking off Graham right at the end. Here comes the Accursed Arm looking for damage onto nVision. nVision very low, will be dropped by Kami right there, coming to the rescue. And Eager are playing as a cohesive unit, and I love it right now. They're shutting down this buck whenever they jump in, and they're keeping their team alive.
Yeah, Eager's got a game plan, and they are executing it. I love the way that they're tackling this objective fight. I love the way they're tackling the payload push as Madman comes in trying to answer, but gets taken out after the Tempest, and a nice imprisonment there, actually allowing the defense to fail. So that is going to be a point on the side of Ronin, allowing them to hopefully get back into this game. Vox, what happens if they go ahead and capture this? Do you think they have a chance to push it and tie this game up?
So yeah, exactly. It's 4 points away from Eager is Ronin's score right now. They've got to get this payload capture and conversion, but we saw Eager's defense previously, and Eager's defense is so impeccable and so aggressive that there's no easy way for Ronin to break it. They're going to have to rely on good combos as opposed to going in through and better team play. Now, nVision with the peace of mind to use that imprisonment, zone out. It was a defense that was successful, not a defense that failed. That is actually a spectator UI bug, we should just point out there, showing failed on your screen right there. So 1 point, as you mentioned, went to Ronin, but that imprisonment won't be up for the next fight. And as we've seen, nVision, he's got 16 deaths right now. He's 3 and 16. He jumps in solo onto a big group of players, and without the damage mitigation coming out from imprisonment, I am very, very worried about how his play is going to impact a potential win from Ronin. And here he goes. He's diving into just one, but Eager rally for the defense.
I'm excited also to see that there are 2 Wrecker pickups on the side of Kintastic and on the side of Graham, although Kintastic just got taken down, so that Wrecker won't matter, but they're going to be able to burn through those shields a little bit better. But does it matter if Z1Unknown gets a double kill, takes down nVision and Shindu, and Wi-Fi takes down Madman, and Z1Unknown comes back to finish it off Graham so that none of the players are alive? Who cares if you've got a burn card, buddy? You're not even fighting me because you're back in base, says Z1Unknown. Ronin having a little bit of an issue here, and this could be game if Eager can capture this.
So let's talk about Z1Unknown right at the end there. He used an Accursed Arm ultimate only on the 2 players, but that's absolutely fine because what Z1Unknown does with his ultimates, he says, I can get a free kill here.
Right.
And I'm going to use my ultimate. And all of a sudden, the mad advantage goes to Eager again. But here comes a Tempest out from Bitey due to the response and the aggression coming out of Ronin. Look at that. Already shuts down nVision. Kintastic does take out JAKEB, but Bitey shuts down Shindu. Wi-Fi shuts down Madman as well. The kills are going either way. A great freeze from Kintastic, enable them to pick up Cali on the backside, but Wi-Fi quickly takes them out. And that will be it, folks. That is Eager taking Game 1 versus Ronin in a 9-3 victory.
Fantastic play, honestly. Eager really came to play here. Ronin did a good job. I think that Eager had spotted out the fact that they needed to prioritize breaking down the Grok, the real main protector on both teams. I think Eager just had a better chance, better go at dealing with Ronin's Grok versus Ronin dealing with Eager's. I think that was just one of the biggest issues I saw. It's also really interesting to note for me, and maybe you'll talk about it again, maybe some changes you might want to see, JAKEB's performance. It's so staggeringly different than every other member on Eager.
Yep. Absolutely. No, it is. He's the only person on Eager with a negative KD. And
not
honestly,
JAKEB, I mean Victor maybe. Maybe it's just Victor.
Right, because we've seen JAKEB perform okay as Cassie in previous weeks. He hasn't performed lights out like Wi-Fi right now, running 19 and 7, 21 assists and 48k damage. He's not been performing necessarily that well, but he's been performing pretty well running what he's done before. But honestly, let's just shout out Bitey right here, because look at that score. Look at that slash line. 23, 5, and 30. The highest kills in the game right there. 65,000 damage, rivaling Z1Unknown, a phenomenal Androxus player. And part of that to me is the fact that Bitey's shield is up all the time, so he just sits under the totemic ward and just goes, I'm having a picnic right here, because he gets to fire off loads of damage, gets loads of chain lightning off, and there's no punishment for that. There's a shield to keep him safe all the time, and as soon as it goes down, eventually, I Ghost Walk, and look, the shield's back up again. And I don't think the Ronin were really adapting to the fact that Bitey needs to be dealt with as a very big priority here, because they were grouping up consistently. And tell me, Rain, with the changes to chain lightning and shock pulse, what does that enable Grok to do?
Well, he's going to be able to do so much more damage now. They've upped the damage and they've made it short. He used to be able to basically shoot people for a very long time, almost too long, and his damage felt lackluster. Now they pumped up the damage, made it shorter, but what that means is that he's so much more effective in actually bursting people down, which is very, very big and important in these types of FPS shooters so that they can get into the kill range. What ends up happening, though, is with his new blue ball, because Grok is now enhanced with lightning blue balls, he can shoot that and it will bounce off the teammates and allow him to just chain one of them and essentially increase that range. He's able to hit all of the other members on that enemy team. So essentially you can hit one nice ball onto somebody and hit the entire team for loads and loads of damage, considering his damage increase. And it's put him in a position where we have a protector here and Grok who can actually out damage every single person on your team. And that is a scary thing. Talk about being a jack of all trades. This guy is a master of all trades right now. All the damage, all the area damage as well, plus the protecting shield. Grok is a big time pick for this reason alone.
But there is counterplay to that, and that's just what we haven't seen out of Ronin. The counterplay is spread up. Use line of sight breaks to make sure that you don't get that shock pulse bouncing between you and your teammates and enabling a Grok to dish out a ton of damage, and that needs to change right there. We saw nVision going in, chain lightning or the shock pulse bounced off nVision on Buck to the rest of the team, and then everybody just wiped out and obliterated in a matter of seconds. You got to remember, you're also playing against a Bomb King. You cannot group up against a Bomb King. You have to be spread out. So what I want to see Ronin going into game 2 is changing things up. Let's go for less of the group and the fist composition aggression, where they go around as a big group of players and look to mow them down one by one, kind of lawnmower style or combine harvester style, and instead going for more spread out but ranged poke damage. They'll pick a single target to poke down, but they'll do it from a distance, and I think that will actually give them the advantage necessary to potentially take some points back off of Eager. Either way, do you want to see?
Go ahead. Sorry, Vox. Do you want to see a Buck change? Do you want it, because that plan doesn't really call for Buck jumping in? You know, do you want to see a different character change on nVision?
Yes. I feel like I'm speaking like a broken record right now. nVision's Buck is underperforming significantly. He's making phenomenal misplays. He is jumping into the front line of every fight instead of the back line being a disruptor, and is being severely punished for it and shredded down immediately. And that kind of play against a top tier team is punished and punished and punished. You can get away with it in pub games because there's no coordination. You can get away with it in lower level competitive games because players might not understand how to deal with just in your face aggression. But against a veteran team like Eager, who know how to kind of disengage and then just concentrate their fire on Buck, it's not working, and something has to be altered there. If nVision has any kind of ranged champion in their kit, if they have a Bomb King, for example, I would prefer to see that than their Buck right now.
Definitely. Let's make sure that they get the right adjustments. They're going to need it because they're down 1-0 to what seems to be one of the top contenders to win this tournament, which is Eager. Hopefully they can make some changes, get themselves back in it, and get a win. Next map on Temple Ruins. We'll see you in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Game 2 of the semifinal set here. Eager versus Ronin taking on each other in Temple Ruins. My name is Rainday, joined today by my commentator, Vox Tempest. We're going to be walking you through Game 2 of a best of 3. Now, right now, Eager is actually in the lead 1-0 over Ronin, and Ronin's looking to tie things up or get defeated here and get out of the tournament. Kintastic on Ronin on the left-hand side of your screen is going to be on the Eevee, Madman on the Grok, Shindu on the Cassie, Graham on the Androxus, and nVision on the Buck.
So on the right-hand side of your screen, it will be Team Eager. They're making no roster switch-ups, but this is interesting. No lineup switch-ups, I should say. Wi-Fi running kill the heal right out of the gate. What do you think about that, Rain? That's a very confident play, right?
Very confident. He's assuming he's going to get those kills, and I like it. Hey, man, be like, you know what? We have a plan. Expect a flank. Expect something definitely going on here for Wi-Fi. He's assuming he's not only going to get these players down, he's going to get the finishing shot. That's the only way he's going to heal off of that. Obviously, kill the heal makes sense. Let's see. Him and Madman are going back to each other. Ghostwalk comes in, and actually Wi-Fi is the first to get taken down. He's first blood. The irony does not escape me, and hopefully it doesn't escape you all watching on stream.
Oh, good grief, though. JAKEB heard what I said and is mad. He is angry right now, picking up a double kill already. Bitey going to close things out for the full team wipe there, but JAKEB already on the board with 2-0-2 as the slash line on a 4 streak right now, and Victor is starting to turn up. But is Victor starting to turn up here, Rain, or are we seeing some misplays potentially coming out from Ronin, as they might be a little bit worried and a little bit shattered after that last game not going as well as expected? Kintastic does take out Z1 Unknown, who's overextended, but look at the amount of time he's bought Eager to get on the objective right now. It's going to be difficult for Ronin to go for the retake.
Well, I think actually Glacier Keep, like the smaller, a little bit of the tighter corners actually don't help Victor as much as people thought, because people's movement abilities can kind of catch up with him here. But if Victor can wrap a corner around in Temple Ruins, and you have to then use your movement ability to get to him, but he wraps another corner, it's like impossible to catch up with him. Like, he can actually outrun you and outstrafe you a lot. So he's going to actually have more safety on this map than a lot of people might think. And I've actually experienced that in playing as Victor. So he tends to do a little bit better on this map from what I've seen.
Well, you know who doesn't have any safety is Graham right now. Pincer between Z1 Unknown and Bitey right here. Has been spotted out. Should have Nether Step available shortly. Will get out of danger very briefly, but shut down by Wi-Fi. Pinned out of the air by that Cassie shot. Cammy takes out nVision once again, going in 1v5 alone. And here's the accursed arm coming from Z1 Unknown. Off against 2 players, doesn't pick up a kill, but uses the ultimate whenever it's off cooldown. Now, we see a lot of players picking up morale boost, which increases the charge rate of ultimates by anybody who picks it up by 40%, which allows Androxus to charge their ultimate very quickly. But Z1 Unknown is one of the few players who effectively uses it on cooldown and whenever it's available and tries to maximize the use of it. What do you think about that, Rain?
You know what? When you mentioned that, Fox, I thought, you know what? I get so salty when I'm playing against an Androxus and I'm about to kill him, and then he just uses his accursed arm on me to kill me. I'm like, dude, really? Like, I was gonna, you know, why are you gonna go there? Why are you gonna go there? And pretty much, it's a salty feeling. But what's so good about it in this competitive play is that when you have just one-man advantage, your team is really able to take use of that, and that's why I think using it on cooldown, even though he gets 1 kill maybe, allows his team to capitalize on that and snowball that 4 or 5 man team versus a 3 or 4 man team that the enemy team has now.
I think what's really important to note here is that it's not just the kill potential and the numbers advantage which it could give Z1 Unknown's team here. It's also the tilt factor being applied to Ronin. If you consistently just ult one player and wipe them out as soon as, here we go, look, Buck getting ulted out. Z1 Unknown immediately shuts down nVision. And once again, nVision, every time they go in, they get out. Here comes a barrage from JAKEB as well, dropping the damage. Icebox going to mute it. Wi-Fi takes out Graham. Now Kintastic still alive, looks for the pressure onto Bomb King, but is being damaged and shot down by Z1 Unknown. The payload almost reached completion. Let's see, Madman go into contest, and nVision goes into contest, but immediately wiped out Z1 Unknown with the double kill, and that will be a conversion for Team Eager, and they lead 4 points to 0 at 4:22 into the first round of Game 2.
So yeah, I think it's really smart. First of all, you mentioned it, and I love what he's doing. Here's what's really frustrating for me to watch looking at Ronin's play is that they learned. I feel like they learned last round that they needed to prioritize burning down Bitey shields. They needed to get Wrecker. Somebody on their team needed to have Wrecker to compete with Kami's Wrecker, and nobody had it last round. Kami had his Wrecker. Nobody had it last round. Now you see 2 picked up, but they're already 4 points down. It could be just a day late and $1 short at this point, because I feel like they just aren't playing at the level they need to be playing to compete with Eager.
Sounds like
they're not making the right choices here.
But we're getting into the next objective. It does spawn on the right-hand side of the mini-map. That will be the canyon point right now. And look, we're seeing a bit of a pinch coming here. Ronin, despite not being really revealed, are actually getting poked out quite significantly by Kami's Bomb King. nVision getting juggled as well. Doesn't get any heroic leap damage off. He's actually reset. Bitey takes him down. Fantastic play coming out from Kami. That is amazing play from Kami right there. Kami diving deep in the backside, gets the kill to heal reset as well. And that is a full team wipe coming out. Only Kintastic left alive. The last player forced to soar away on Eevee to safety. Does manage to heal up, but is going to be chased down by Victor. And Wi-Fi here. Wormhole Blink will keep them safe for a very brief amount of time, but those sticky bombs around the corner deal so much damage as well. And out for the count, 4v5 are Ronin now, and they once again are on the back foot.
Yeah, and you know what? It's going to be a very big back foot that they have to try to adjust here, because there is just no way I'm seeing Ronin get themselves back into this capture point. It's 68 points ticking in, and they've got it so well covered from the zoning with Z1 Unknown just hitting Kintastic right now. Blink then tries to get them off. She's got the freeze available. The Grumpy Bomb comes up. It's immune, but they get shut down by Bitey's Tempest. Madman forced to Ghost Walk. He gets taken down as well, and now Kami's damage onto the 2, however, is not enough to kill Kintastic and Graham. It looks like they're proving me wrong as I mentioned it, and they're saying, okay, Rain Day, you say we can't get on this point. Let me go ahead and take them down real quick. Z1 Unknown gets taken down as well, and it looks like Ronin have taken the recapture.
But it's 95 in favor of Eager right now, and as Scout is activated, you're going to see Ronin taking a lot more damage there from Fatal Sign. Kintastic able to heal up, but all the while, look at Kami. He's placing sticky bombs on the objective. Nobody's taking up points for Ronin. Now players are back on it, but they're all getting poked down. Madman at less than half health. Bitey now dropping the totemic ward. Kintastic dives in deep at the backside, doesn't wormhole blink back in time, gets shut down immediately, whilst Madman has taken out JAKEB right now. Only nVision holding down the objective. 86 points. It's going to be neck and neck. Somebody's going to have to come in to fight them off. And are there any ultimates available? None on either side right now. It's going to come down to the straight up outplay, and Ronin looking very strong in this. 4 players to 2. They're going to take this one away from Eager. They somehow came with the impossible retake and do take 2 points back towards their favor, and looking to equalize this one with a successful payload conversion.
Now that is a fantastic job by Ronin, proving me wrong, changing the momentum. Sometimes you have to do that. You put yourself in a position where it seems like all is failing, there's no hope, and then you just battle through it. You go in. I love the mentality that they've shown to say, we're going to keep fighting. Yes, it looks like we're down. Eager's not taking us seriously anymore. Kami didn't even pick up a Wrecker. He thinks he doesn't need it anymore. That was what was hurting us so much, and now they pay the piper because they had no way to burn down Madman's shields. He gets the kill on a JAKEB.
Oh my goodness.
And it's just GG.
But JAKEB actually returning a barrage onto Androxus. Now, this is a very interesting interaction. If you're unfamiliar with how Victor's ultimate works, whilst it is a bunker buster, so it will actually go through ceilings if you're in an enclosed space, you can hit Androxus in midair with a barrage damage. That's exactly what JAKEB on Victor does. As soon as that ultimate comes out, it's, well, I am just going to drop 2,000 damage on you like that with a snap of his fingers. 2 quick bombs go down, and now whilst nVision goes to the backside to punish JAKEB for it, we should see the rest of the team rallying around to return the damage, and nVision very low, going to be shut down by Kami here. One more sticky bomb required, but no, Bitey actually uses Tempest, force very low, shut down. The payload push continues, and Ronin looking like they have a chance to come back into this. Even though nVision has fallen, the push continues. Z1 Unknown in a lot of trouble, and the respawns aren't coming through quite fast enough.
Oh, Madman with a Tempest, but it's a bit of a misplay. Does get a lot of damage onto JAKEB. He's going to get the kill potentially, but he's going to go down as well. JAKEB actually getting taken down and Bitey taking down Madman, but now the shield pump comes up from Bitey. Looking to hold here is him looking with Shindu, Graham, and Kintastic in front of him. Not the easiest place to be, and now the only person left is Z1 Unknown. He's got his reversal going, but he gets hit with a lot of damage from Buck, but he spends his time wisely, allowing his teammates to come in and recontest. This is anybody's ball game. There's still 3v2. King Bob comes in with a double kill. Kami says, see you later, and he secured the payload for now.
But you know what? It's still 26 seconds left on the clock, 25 seconds left on the clock. There is one more push potential coming in from Ronin right now to break Team Eager's base. And as Kami is pushed out very far, boxing against Graham right now, getting poked down. Things are looking good for Ronin, except check this out. Eevee on the backside, so very low. Kintastic getting bombarded with bombs. Nobody on the payload right now. And actually, Kintastic or nVision is the only player, or are the only players who can go and reach that payload in time. And here we go. A Cursed Arm coming down from the sky. Z1 Unknown shuts down one. Can't shut down two. nVision picks off Kami. Ronin on the advantage right now. They might get the conversion.
Oh my god, they were so close. Madman was so close to getting that health nugget, but it looks like the respawns are still coming out. This is going to be a tough one to do. Kintastic needed the Victor ultimate here, but a nice immunity there by Kintastic into the ice block. She blinks back. It's just her versus 3. She's got to stall the payload. It's not in overtime. It's still in overtime. Shindu comes in and saves the day, but he's now almost dead. It looks like Madman is alive. He's got his shields. They don't have any wreckers again, so that's going to last a little bit longer, but he can't stay near the payload. It looks like this could be the inbox.
Oh, they're going to give it up. Ronin are going to make the wise decision of giving this one up. Madman doesn't have reinforcements in time. The rest of Eager have had their full team respawn right now, and 2v5 is not a good look for the team on the back foot right there. But still, 2 points to 5. We have Ronin getting themselves on the board. However, one more payload push and conversion, or capture and conversion from Eager could close things out early. They've got one conversion so far this game. Let's take a look at the ultimate charges and burn cards and see if potentially they can do it again. Now, Kami yet to pick up any more burn cards than just Equestrian. Wondering if he's going to go into Wrecker.
Interesting.
But talk to me about this. JAKEB's picked up a Deft Hands. Talk me through this card and why it's effective on Victor as opposed to particularly any other champion.
Well, Victor is a character that you really want to reload quickly on, and Deft Hand is going to increase your ability to reload faster. And what that means is the reason with Victor is because his first couple of rounds out of his shot deal an extra 50 damage. It's the first 4 rounds, I believe. And so he will be getting that extra damage very, very frequently and reloading it faster and faster, meaning your DPS will essentially increase if you're able to do it at the right time. So that's why that Deft Hand is getting picked up. Of course, when he empties his full clip, he'll be able to reload faster as well. But a lot of times as a Victor, you'll run around the corner, don't see anybody immediately, reload right away, and that Deft Hands will help him out there.
Absolutely. That 50 extra damage, I mean, that's what, 200 damage additional over the course of 4 rounds. That could make or break a 1v1 fight, but so far, Kami is actually making this fight for me. But Bitey kicked things off on this next objective, the third objective of this game, and baited Ronin all around into a tunnel right there, where they got decimated. Now Kami with the 3rd kill looks to keep on putting the pressure on. He's 1v2. He's in a lot of trouble. No Poppy Bomb available. He's going to get shut down here, but Madman forced him to Ghost Walk. There's the disengage. Kami still alive, up in the air, out of the issue completely. Madman being chased around, already shut down, and nVision now being chased around as the scout comes out of Wi-Fi. And nVision should fall here to the Cassie player on the side of Eager. And while Z1 Unknown gets dropped very low by Kintastic's freeze, they don't have enough damage to finish him off all in one. And Eager still hold the objective at 74 points to 0.
And JAKEB still 6'9". He's just been taken out again. He's being effective in many different ways. He is definitely having more of an impact. He's getting more kills. He is having more uptime in terms of not dying as frequently, and affecting these fights. So overall, he's improved, and the team I think has been doing well. But we've seen Ronin again fall into the same trap of kind of getting this one moment of glory and looking like they might change things up, but then Eager stealing back the momentum with another capture or a big strong defense that goes their way. Vox, does Eager is it Eager or is it Ronin? What do they need to do? Is it Eager outperforming, or does Ronin need to make some more adjustments?
The last point for me was 100% Ronin being suckered in a trap complete. Now as the defense comes through, it's looking actually quite successful so far. nVision being taken down, but Kintastic can return the kill very quick. Eevee playing lights out on their team right now, really trying to keep them in it, alongside Graham, who does actually outbox Z1 Unknown 1v2. Graham gonna pick up the double kill. No, Kintastic actually credited for that one now. But look at the payload stall. Even though Bitey goes into Tempest. He's wasted an ultimate just on 2 players right there. Does get the double kill, but here comes a Cursed Arm as well. And I love the defense that's come out. It just was overextension for me. Bitey went out, got brought quite low, walked back, then used Totemic Wall to keep themselves alive. And 2 players were blown up by the area damage that Kami was available to output. And to me, Ronin shouldn't be walking into situations like that. They should know by now that that is an obvious bait, and they just didn't seem to recognize it.
Absolutely here. It's the payload pushing a little bit underneath the bridge, trying to get past it. Madman holding, tucking himself behind that corridor there, not trying to get seen. Grumpy Bomb going to force him away. Tempesting actually, but getting taken down during his ultimate. Remember, guys, Grok is still not immune to damage during that. He's going to be dishing out a ton, but you can kill him. Very much like an Ares, if he's pulling you in Smite, you're going to be able to shoot him. That's probably your best bet just to end that DPS or run far, far away if you can. Grumpy Bomb coming out onto Madman. Looks like Eager might be able to push this one in, Vox, and finish this game up.
Oh, it's very close, but I love the presence of mind that Madman had actually had there. Even though they have already fallen, and even though the conga is going on, the respawns are still coming through. Madman went into Ghost Walk at the top. There is a Cassie on the enemy team right now. That's Cassie, who is Wi-Fi, and Cassie has the ult fire available to her disengage, which actually applies a knockback to players jumping down. So if Madman didn't go into Ghost Walk and got disengaged there off the top, he would have been forced into the air, unable to contest the payload. And as it looks like, that single play like right there allowed the rest of the respawns to come through, bought enough time for Eager to be dismantled. And now Ronin look like they're going to get another hold and potentially another point out of it, as only Kami able to get near it, but not close enough to take the payload back into overtime.
And I love now with what Kami and a lot of the Bomb King players are using, just this Poppy Bomb build that's allowing them to basically hit themselves with backdraft and have these incredibly efficient cooldowns for being able to blast yourself around the map, since Bomb King has relatively low mobility, but increasing the self knockback, man. Poppy Bomb are this Bomb King can move like half the map with these Poppy Bomb explosions. It's actually pretty fun to watch and see, especially since you can combo a lot of things. You can throw your bombs in the air while you're flying back. You can maneuver around corners. It's very, very cool build to be seeing here. The one thing I am seeing though, Vox, for this build, and I want you to point out if you see anything interesting, is we've saw people get really interested in Bomb Shelter, and I saw even a Bomb Shelter 4 coming out. What do you think the impact of is that? Kami's only running 2.
So Kami's running 2. The primary reason that Kami is running Bomb Shelter 2, to my observation, is because Kami has mastered mid-air sticky jumping. And this is something which, if you've not played a lot of Bomb King, you might not be unaware of. Use Poppy Bomb to get into the air. You throw your sticky bombs, detonate them in mid-air, and you can actually bounce around across the map. It means that your rollout on Temple Ruins can actually get you onto the upper ledge of Sanctuary by Poppy Bombing once and then throwing 2 sticky bombs at your feet and jumping off that explosion once again. So reducing the self-damage from Bomb King as he does that allows him to make fantastic jumps. But actually, look at this. Eager on the back foot right there. nVision tries to shut down JAKEB, but JAKEB managed to equalize, and now it's Eager who are up on top. As Kintastic is very low. Ronin looking very strong in the initial side of this objective, but dismantled as soon as their players start to drop. There's one crucial player that did fall in that fight for me, and that was Madman initially. And with no Grok shield to keep everybody alive, I feel like the team starts to, crumble a little bit.
It's so interesting, too, to see how Eager has not picked up any wreckers again. It was really working, but it seems like they just feel that they can do what they need to do without any wreckers, whereas on the side of Ronin, there are 2 wreckers picked up. Again, Madman and Shindu both grabbing those. So the priorities have definitely shifted, but the gameplay has remained the same. It looks like this could be Ronin potentially retaking here with Madman's Tempest coming in. Kami's running low, and he gets sniped out by Ronin there. Madman getting the kill, but it may be too little too late. Again, there's 4 members almost on the point, and it's all up to Shindu now, Vox, and he just gets deleted.
Bitey with a double-double right there, closing things out, taking out 4 members of Ronin's total 5 will end the game in favor of Eager. Eager with a 2-0 sweep will advance to the finals to face off against the winner of Matchpoint versus Ardent Ascendants, whereas Ronin will once again head into the bronze placement match. And let's take a look at the scoreboard and just break some things down. But honestly, I just want to say one thing about the whole Wrecker pickups, right? So you mentioned that initially we saw Kami taking Wrecker, dealing with Madman's shield very well, and then almost like Eager didn't actually need it going to the next game. And I think I have an answer for you as to why that is.
Why?
Eager, they're always playing 5v4. Because nVision jumps in, nVision gets picked, and it's an immediate 5v4. They don't need the Wrecker to break down the shield because they just have an extra player's worth of damage compared to what Ronin are able to put out. And for me, that is really just breaking the team apart right now. You have Kintastic, who played a phenomenal EV, 18 and 13 positive KD, 2 solo kills, high streak of 7, not out of the park a KDA, but actually matching a lot of the players from Eager right there. Shindu, 18, 19 deaths still, but still a high damage count. Graham, 9 and 16, but 50,000 damage. Starting to get up there, just being shut down, but nVision, once again, 9 and 19 on Buck, only 24,000 damage, is just being picked far too often and jumping into situations which not just put them at a deficit, but put the team at a deficit, as when they fall, the numbers advantage does go to Eager. And against a team like Eager, you cannot afford for that to happen.
I think what's so interesting, Vox, and what I think is part of the Paladins competitive scene that we've seen, being a very high-level player requires you to have a very deep champion pool, in my opinion.
Yes.
I think you look at some of I think more talented and really skilled players. I'm going to mention Cuss Cutie because he's on my mind and he's in chat.
Yep.
But when we saw him at DreamHack and we've seen him play, he could swap to 3-4 different characters in that carry role and do well. And bring out a Kinessa, bring out a Cassie, bring out an Androxus, and compete with some of the best players in the world who only play those characters. And you need to be able to do that, I think. I've seen a lot of pro players really stick to their guns. And what I would suggest and what I would encourage is people to really branch out and start looking to have more pocket picks so that nVision, yes, Buck doesn't work, but then we switch it up. Then you bring something else out and you work with that and you're able to do it. I think a lot of players just feel like I'm the best Buck, I'm the best this. And really Paladins is a game that I think will encourage the top players to be more than one character main. You will have to be able to play all of them.
Absolutely, I agree. You've got to master at least 3 to 4 champions to have that diversity throughout your team. But I want to bring up something, and this is the great feature of Twitch chat, enabling us to like converse with some of the players whilst this is going on, because we currently don't do post-game interviews or anything like that. So we just did have nVision jump into chat and say, actually, they were following the team's calls a lot of the time. So if the team is calling for Buck to jump in 1v5 repeatedly, does this highlight the issue that actually the problem, okay, you've got the nVision is following these calls. That's problem number 1. Who's calling the shots for Buck to do that? And who's not recognizing that that play isn't working time and time again and not going for an alternative strategy right there? So perhaps this problem with Ronin that is letting Ego just capitalize and take advantage of that isn't so much of a one-person problem, but more of a team communication issue, which needs to be ironed out before they can potentially be in contention for that number 2 spot. Any thoughts on that, Rain?
No, that's a really good point. I mean, you got to realize that this is a team game. Yes, we're highlighting something, I think, for the sake of conversation, for the sake of just bringing up specific points and looking at them more in depth. But I also think that you have to realize it's not nVision messing up. This is a team game. They're discussing with each other what should be done. You know, nVision, unless he's just totally not a team player, is working with his teammates to say, when should I jump? Where should I go? Guys, I got somebody here. Should we run in? And discussing that. So I think you have to always put that into perspective. It's not just one player messing up. We talked about JAKEB as well. You know, they're believing that Victor is the right choice for their team right now, and it's working. You know, even if we're calling him out, it's working. So I really like that perspective you brought to it, man. And I think we have to realize that this is a team game, and sometimes your team needs to be able to make the call and say, hey, we've chosen this Buck strategy. It doesn't work. Because really, if you're not going to have Buck leap in, what's Buck on your team for? You got to get somebody else. You have to think of a different strategy. And, you know, that's what I would encourage Ronin to bring into their next games.
Either way, folks, it looks like I stand corrected as the rest of the team have rallied around and said that nVision turns out to be the shot caller after all. Sounds like there's a bit of confusion going on there. Hope that Ronin can get that all kind of ironed out before the next week of the Paladin Summer Circuit, or potentially before the bronze match placement going up against Ardent Ascendants. As the last thing we want right now is some trouble brewing underneath when they have a very big placement match coming up against them. Of course, there is a difference in crystal pricing between 3rd and 4th place, and also ladder pricing as well, because you got to remember, folks, you are playing for $10,000 prize pool across both regions in NA and EU for the duration of this summer split. So actually having, you know, a bit of an issue going on underneath and potentially looking for the lower tier placement could shut you out of that 3rd place prize, that 3rd place cash prize. So best of luck and best wishes to Ronin as they head into that bronze match coming up very shortly. But we will be going directly into the finals. And as we take a look at the brackets, we should be able to pull them up on screen and confirm who'll be playing. It is Match Point versus Team Eager for the 4th week in a row. Let's see if Eager can pull something out of the woodwork and take games off Match Point and potentially dethrone the Kings.